What prepared you to be able to do all the things you're doing today?
Oh man, it was so uncomfortable, man. Like, because I never talked, right? Really, when I played, I was more so lead by example type of guy. Like I was never the front runner type of guy. I wasn't raised like that. I was raised, hey man, you show up, you handle your business, and if you see something being done, you speak about it, and then you go back to work. And so I was never that type of guy. I would say something if I felt like guys were treating certain guys a certain way and then trying to treat walk-ons a certain way, because I felt as if I had put in the work. So when I said something, it was valid and guys would respect it. And so when I got injured, I would just go to places doing community service, and people would always come up to me and be like, hey man, what happened to your arm? Right? Because they can naturally see. And I'd be like, oh, it's just a football injury. Right? And there would always be somebody that would be like, no, but what happened? Right? And I'd be like, it's just an injury, man. And they would press it, and before long, it would turn into an informal Q&A. And people would sit there and they would listen, and we would leave, and they'd be like, man, you need to speak. I'd be like, nah, I'm definitely not speaking. I don't want to do that. And I kid you not, man, everything I tried, it was as if God just closed the door. And I was talking to some people in one of my small groups, and one of the guys, man, very successful older gentleman at the time, he's close to 70 years old, had a bunch of restaurants, had done well, finally retired. And I'll never forget, in the group, he said to me, he was like, man, you're selfish. And I was like, selfish? I was like, I'm probably the most unselfish guy you know. And he was like, no, I'm not talking about like that. He said, you think what you went through is just for you. I was like, well, I went through it. He was like, but no, man, the experiences that we encounter, they're just not for us. Not saying that you got to go out and you got to share them with the world, but when you get to a place of peace, it's somebody that can identify with the adversity and opposition that you faced. Maybe not specifically. It may not be identical, but you share it so you can help your brother or your sister as they navigate throughout life. And in the moment, I resisted it because I was like, man, whatever. But that night when I got back to my room, I was like, man, he had a good point. Like, he was right. And so I got to a point, man, I prayed and I submitted. And I was like, God, I feel like this is it. And it's like when you speak about future-proof, I took the same approach that I took to ball, and I took that same approach to what I'm doing now in terms of studying, in terms of trying to develop, in terms of trying to grow. And I just applied it to my career because I want to be as effective as possible. I always say that every time I go in a room, I want to be effective. And so how can I be effective? I have to learn, and I have to know what I'm doing.